Hi Huskies, hi Bulldogs. Today I want to read you a quick story about clouds, and then I have some pictures of clouds, and I want to teach you guys a little bit about clouds. So it's going to be a little bit of a science lesson today, all right? This story is a little silly because it's about a cloud that can talk and think, which is not what clouds are really like. Clouds are made up of water that evaporates up into the sky. And then if there's enough water, it can condense, squeeze together, and we might see it, and it might fall back down as rain, right? We call that the water cycle. But this book is called Little Cloud, right? It's about a small cloud. The clouds drifted slowly across the sky. Little Cloud trailed behind. There's Little Cloud down there, trailing behind, not keeping up, going a little bit slower. The clouds pushed upward and away. Little Cloud pushed downward and touched the top of the houses and the trees. There's Little Cloud. Sometimes clouds will come down and they'll cover our homes and the trees. And what that looks like is fog. When it's a foggy day, that's because a cloud came down to the ground and all the people are inside of that cloud. It's hard to see when it's foggy. The clouds moved out of sight. Little Cloud changed into a giant cloud. That happens sometimes with real clouds. Sometimes clouds get bigger because they get more water from the air. More water evaporates and condenses together to make the cloud bigger. Little Cloud changed into a sheep. Sheep and clouds sometimes look alike. Sometimes if you look at a cloud, you can use your imagination and you can pretend that it looks like something. Little Cloud changed into an airplane. Little Cloud often saw airplanes flying through the clouds. Have you ever been on an airplane? I've been on an airplane, and when the airplane flew through the clouds, I could see it was like going into the fog. Little Cloud changed into a shark. Little Cloud once saw a shark through the waves in the ocean. Right? I never saw a cloud that looks like a shark. Little Cloud changed into two trees. Little Cloud liked the way the trees never moved and stayed in one place. Trees don't move around and blow around like a cloud does, do they? Little Cloud changed into a rabbit. Little Cloud loved to watch rabbits dash across the meadow. When they dash, that means they run fast. They dash across the meadow. I don't think I've ever seen a cloud that looks like a rabbit either. Then Little Cloud changed into a hat because Little Cloud changed into a clown and he needed a hat. It's a clown cloud. I've definitely never seen a cloud like that. That one's really crazy. The other clouds drifted back. They huddled close together. Little Cloud, they called, come back. Little Cloud drifted back toward the other clouds. Little Cloud is drifting back toward the rest of the clouds. Then all the clouds changed into one big cloud, and it rained. That happened at my house yesterday. There were lots of big clouds in the sky, and it rained. All right, let's look at some pictures of real clouds, okay? I'm going to start with this one. Have you ever seen a cloud like that? There's a special science word for this kind of cloud. My turn, this is a cirrus cloud. Your turn. And cirrus clouds are really high up in the sky. Put this right here. Slide it over so you can see it. I'm going to put these up at the top. Here's another picture of a cirrus cloud. Sometimes people call them horsetail clouds because they look kind of like horsetails up in the sky. It looks like a horse's tail. Here's another one, another Cirrus Cloud, way high up in the sky. I'm going to draw some. I'm going to get my board. If you have your board with you, you can do some drawing too. I'm going to draw some Cirrus Clouds way high up in the sky. They're not very big. They don't cover the whole sky. You can still see lots of blue way up in the sky. And the Cirrus Clouds don't really have that much water. They have a little bit of water, but not that much. If you see Cirrus Clouds, probably not going to rain. Cirrus Clouds don't usually make very much rain. Now this is a different one though. This one's hard to take pictures of. This is a cloud that covers the whole sky. Makes the whole sky get covered up with white. So when you look up, you don't see a blue sky. All you see is a white sky. I'm going to draw one of those. I'm going to erase my Cirrus Clouds. This is a Stratus Cloud. Sometimes I think of a Stratus Cloud as being like a big, flat, grumpy Stratus Cloud. Because if you're down here on the ground, if that's me down there, and I try to look up, I won't be able to see the blue sky. All I can see is this white cloud, and it covers the whole sky. The blue is above it, but I can't see it because this white cloud is in the way. That's a Stratus Cloud. Have you ever seen a Stratus Cloud like that before? Have you ever seen a cloud that looks like this? The whole sky looks kind of white? Oftentimes it looks that way in the winter. Sometimes it snows. Sometimes those clouds have enough water that they will rain or snow in them. All right? Those are Stratus Clouds. Now the next ones are some of my favorites. These are really puffy clouds. And these ones remind me of the ones in the story, especially at the beginning of the story. There were lots of puffy clouds like that. Looks a little bit like these clouds, I think. These are called Cumulus Clouds. Cumulus Clouds are really puffy, and sometimes they look like something else. Sometimes they have a shape, and you're like, that reminds me of a race car or something else. Do you think these look like anything? I don't know. If you wanted to pause the video, you could look at it closer. See if you think it looks like anything. That's a Cumulus Cloud. Here's another picture of some Cumulus Clouds. Now, Cumulus Clouds have a little bit of water in them. Sometimes they rain a little bit, but they don't rain a lot. Cumulus Clouds like that don't usually have that much water in them. So when it rains, it's not like a storm, but it might rain a little bit. So there's some Cumulus Clouds. I'm going to draw some Cumulus Clouds. If you want to draw some with me, you can. Cumulus Clouds are not really high up, not like these Cirrus Clouds. They're more in the middle. Cumulus Clouds like that. Sometimes they're puffy, sometimes they're a little bit smaller, sometimes they're a little bit bigger. Those are the Cumulus Clouds, right? But I'm going to teach you about one more kind of cloud. And this happens if you have some Cumulus Clouds and they bump into each other, or if the Cumulus Clouds keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm going to pretend that this cloud is going that way, but this cloud is going this way. And if they bump into each other, it makes even more water in the air, and sometimes they get pushed up higher and higher and higher until those small Cumulus Clouds turn into a really, really big cloud. And this is what we call a Cumulonimbus Cloud. Whoa, that's a lot of syllables. I'm going to try to clap it. Ready? So my board going to hold up. I'll set it down. All right, I'm going to clap it. It's going to be Cumulonimbus. You want to clap it with me? Ready, set, go. Cumulonimbus. That's a lot of syllables. A cumulonimbus cloud is a really big cloud that has a lot of water in it. And sometimes part of the cloud will shock the other part of the cloud, and it looks like this. Lightning. Have you ever seen lightning before? That's when you have a big storm cloud, a big cumulonimbus cloud, and it has a shock inside of it. Sometimes the clouds, instead of shocking other clouds, will shock the ground. Sometimes the lightning goes from a cloud to another cloud. Sometimes the lightning goes from the clouds down to the ground. And if it makes a loud noise, we call that noise, do you know? We call that noise thunder. Lightning is what we see. Thunder is what we hear. Let's look at some real cumulonimbus clouds. This one is a really big cumulonimbus cloud. Can you see how many clouds are smashed together? Do you see how much water is inside of those clouds? That one is definitely going to make a storm. The question is, if you see that cloud, do you think that cloud is going to come closer to you, or is it going away from you? If it's going away from you, then it will storm someplace else. But if you see a cloud like this, a cumulonimbus, and it's getting closer to you, then that's a good time to go inside. I like to watch the storms from inside. That's a big cumulonimbus cloud. Here's another one. This one is very dark. Sometimes, when there's a big cumulonimbus cloud, the clouds don't look white, they look gray or even like black clouds because they cover up the sun so much that it gets really dark. That's another cumulonimbus cloud. Here's one more cumulonimbus cloud. This one is really tall. It goes very high up into the sky. There must be a lot of water in that one, and it might have some lightning in it too. Right? All right, thanks for learning about clouds with me. Thanks for reading my story, The Little Cloud Book. And if you draw any pictures of clouds at your house, show them to me or Miss Gomez, because we'd love to see them. All right? Bye, Huskies. Bye, Bulldogs.